Hey, welcome back. In this episode, I'm going to teach you how to find developers to buy your land. Why would you want a developer to buy your land? Because they've got the deepest pockets. So stick around, I'm going to show you how to do it. All right, I've got several points to unpack for you in this episode. First, where to find these developers. Number two, how to get in touch with them. And the final point I'm gonna make is I'm gonna show you how to get these developers bidding up your land to where you get an even bigger price by selling your land to a developer. I get asked all the time, where do I find developers? How do I find developers? I'm gonna give you the easiest method right now, and that's called driving for developers. Driving for developers. Where are all the new buildings happening? Where are all the houses going up? If you drive around Monday through Friday, you might not see any signs, but here's a cool thing. Here's a ninja tip, a pro tip that I actually learned a couple years ago. When you're looking for developers, the developers are usually allowed to put their signs out for their new homes Friday at noon to Monday at noon. They're allowed to have these signs out. So they have people going out and putting these signs up for them. So if you drive around Friday afternoon all the way through the weekend, you're gonna see the signs of these new homes going up. So this is one way to find it. A second way is go around, drive through neighborhoods, drive down rural roads, and you see this machinery out there just moving dirt. You see these new houses going up, literally like grass growing. That's how to find the developers. These are the guys doing the biggest business. These are the ones building the houses. They're turning houses out. What are developers good at? They are good at building houses. They are good at developing the land and building the houses. What are they not good at? They're not usually good at going out and finding parcels of land to buy, to build on. Because at the end of the day, builders want to build. So if you can bring them a package, bring them a deal, bring them your land that might be ready for development, they're going to be very happy. All right, let's just say now you figured out where the new development's happening. You see the machinery, you see the houses going up, you see the curbs and the gutters and the roads going in. Depending on where you see this process happening, you want to figure out who the actual developer is, who the company name is, or what the company name is. There's this really cool app called Landglide. Landglide. You can find it below in the description. This is an app. It's free for the first 7 days and like $9 a month afterwards. You can download this app, either Google Play or App Store, and download this app right on your phone, and you can open this app and walk from the road and stand on the land, and it's going to show you like a dimension of what the land looks like that they're developing on and who the owner is. And when you get off their land, you're going to be on the neighbor's property. It's going to show you who that person is. But here's what's really cool about it is a lot of times you can click on it and see what the mailing address is of this actual corporation or LLC, and you can either go there and speak with them in person or mail them a letter saying, hey, I've got a piece of land I'd be interested in selling, please call me. Or you can even go a further pro tip. I'm gonna leave the link in the description below, but it's through batch leads, and you could skip trace this developer. You can actually look up what their phone number is and call, text, or email these people and say, hey, I'd like to set a meeting. I own a piece of land. It's 57 acres. There's 5 acres, really close to where you're currently developing. Please call me if you'd be interested in purchasing it. And remember, leave your phone number. But this is how you get in communication. This is like the next step. So you find the developer, driving for developers, and then download Landglide. You probably want to have Landglide downloaded before you leave your house, and then get the information for that actual developer. All right, let's just say maybe you can't leave your house. Maybe you don't have a car. Maybe you don't want to leave your house. Well, here's the next pro tip I'll give you, and that is calling the local building department. Let's just say you're in El Paso County, Colorado. Google El Paso County, the building department, or El Paso County Regional Building. That will give you the phone number, and you can call these people, and you want to ask when they get on the phone, say, hey, who do I talk to about the builders in the area? I'm looking for a list of builders in the area. I'm looking to sell my piece of land to a builder in the area, and they'll understand what you're looking for. Just tell them what you're trying to do. Be transparent, be kind, be nice, because these county workers are very busy, and you want to be kind to them. You want to ask them how their day is going. Connect on an emotional level. Build some emotional rapport with them, because most of the time when they get a caller, that caller goes directly into what they're looking for. So maybe phrase it like this. Hey, Mr. or Mrs. County employee, how's your day going? Hey, thanks for taking my call. I was hoping that you could help me out. I'm looking for a list of people building in the area. Hey, Mr. or Miss County employee, how's your day going? But actually listen when they tell you and comment that you actually seen, heard, and understood them. And then say, I was hoping you could help me out. I'm looking for a list of people building in this area. And then they're gonna give you so many resources. Or maybe they won't. And maybe you need to talk to the next person that will. Don't be afraid to call back multiple times. All right, let's say you didn't get anywhere with that phone call. I want you to go by Dunkin' Donuts or your local donut shop and get a dozen donuts and a pail of coffee. A pail of coffee, like a big thing of coffee. Because who doesn't like coffee and donuts? Especially, I'll tell you what's better than coffee and donuts. Free coffee and donuts. Show up there with this stuff and be like, hey, we spoke the other day. How's your day going? Thanks so much for taking my call. I wanted to just bring this by. I'm still looking for that list. I'm still trying to figure out who in the world is building in this area. Like there's a development going on down the road. They're building like 122 houses, but I can't find the phone number. Like, can you point me in the right direction? Or can you point me in the direction of the guy that builds a couple houses a year? Whatever it is, this is a pro tip. This is how you figure out where the developers are at. All right, next tip. There's something called the County Assessor's website. You can find this by Googling like El Paso County Assessor. You can get on this county's website and you want to kind of explore it around. You might not be very technical. You might actually have to get the county assessor on the phone and tell them what you're looking for. But you're really looking for who is buying up the land in your area. Because who would be a better buyer for your land than someone that's actually just bought a piece of land similar to it. So you want to kind of research the county assessor site, research the area. There's something called the GIS map. This can be found on the assessor site, the GIS, Golf India Sierra, where you can actually scroll around and find the lands in the area that your land's at and click on each one of these parcels and see who the owners of this land is. So one, you want to see who's buying the land and also see who the owners are of the land where there's actually building happening. These are usually the developers. These are usually the builders. And I use developer and builder kind of interchangeably. Developer is someone that goes in and kind of, starts from scratch, throws in the curbs, throws in the gutters, throws in the roads, all the infrastructure. And the builder is who's, kind of the end process of actually throwing up the houses. But you can kind of use them interchangeably. Sometimes they do both. All right, so don't leave yet. I've got a couple major points on like how to talk to the developer. And then at the end, I'm going to show you how to get developers fighting over your land. But before I do, you got to hit that subscribe button. Go ahead. I'll give you a chance to do it. I'm going to give you so much more valuable content. So hit the subscribe button and also comment below if you got any questions on this. All right, you found the developers. You figured out where they're at. Now let's get in touch with them. I talked about land glide. I talked about skip tracing. What do you say to them? At the end of the day, let's talk about the first one, calling them. You've called this developer and say, hey, Mr. Developer, Mrs. Developer, I've got a piece of land that's really close by where you're currently building. It's 27 acres. I wanted to see if you'd be interested in checking the land out. They're going to give you two answers, yes or no. Yes, great. Set an appointment, set a time for you to show them the land and then see what they'd be willing to offer for that land. Don't give them your price. I'm sure you got something in mind, but see what they can do. It might be higher than yours. It might be lower, but just see where they're at, feel them out. Number two, they could say no. And this is where it's going to take a little bit of guts on your part. I want you to ask, why is the answer no? Is this not what you're looking for? Is it not in the right location? Is it not a big enough parcel? Can you tell me, Mr. or Mrs. Developer, why is the answer no? Are you just not building right now? You really want to fill it out because you're going to get some valuable information. Who better to get the information from than the person that you want to buy your land? And if they say no, I want you to get a referral. Hey, do you know anybody else that would be interested in, buying this parcel of land? Any other builders out there that any other developers? Because if you throw this in their mind, you plant that seed, they might say, yeah, Jim is actually looking for another parcel. I'm not currently because I'm retiring. That might be why they said no. Or, they're going on a sabbatical or they're whatever. But they might know of someone that's just starting out that would be willing to buy that land. So that's where you ask, do you know of any other developers out there looking to purchase a parcel of land similar to this? All right, so my final point, I talked to you about how to get developers fighting over your land, how to get them bidding up the price. You can't do that if you only talk to one developer. I want you to talk to a minimum of 5 developers. If you go for 5, you might only hit 2. Go for the moon and hit the light pole type thing. So at the end of the day, you might only have 1 parcel of land. So why not to get the most money possible for this land? My name is Brent Bowers, and I run a program called the Land Sharks. I teach people how to do this every single day. I've done over 259 land transactions, and I've got over 100 notes paying me. Why not take advice from the guy that does this for a living? You might only be selling 1 parcel of land, but stay tuned. I'm gonna show you how to get them fighting over your land. All right, so you found that first developer. He's interested in checking out the land. Set an appointment with him or have him go by there and see what he'd be willing to pay for the land. After you've done that, I want you to do it a second time and a third time and a fourth time. And eventually, go ahead and reach back out to all these developers and say, okay, I know we talked, I know you checked out the land and wanted to see what you thought about it, and what would you be interested in paying for on this piece of land? And get their number, actually get them to send you an offer, either be text message or an email or verbally, that's fine. Write it down and then call the next developer. No one says that you have to make a decision even if they give you way more than what you thought you were expecting. You don't have to give them the exact time you're making a decision. Blame it on your partner. Say you got to talk to your wife or your husband or your father if they start to pressure you. And if they say that this offer is only good for 48 hours, then let them say it. Do not take what they're selling them. They want you to make that decision so they can get that property in a nice, sweet little bow and get it taken. At the end of the day, I see buyers do this all the time. It's because they want what you have. You've got to hang in there. If you're looking to get the biggest and most, biggest purchase price possible, the most money in you and your family's pocket, then you got to hold out. Call that next person and say, hey, did you go look at the land? Or when are you going to look at it? What offer price? And once you get your 5 offers, let's just say you can only get 2. Once you get both of those 2 or 5, I prefer 5. Once you've got them all, I want to give you this magic bullet. This is a magic text. I paid over $10,000 to go and learn this technique by another successful mentor of mine, but I was on his boat when he taught us how to do this. But this magic text is, hey, Mr. or Miss Developer, I've received all my offers on 123 Main Street. I just want to make sure that, whatever it is, 500,000 or 137,000 is your highest and best offer. I'm gonna say it again, and I'll also throw it below in the description, this script. Hey, Mr. or Miss Developer, I've received all my offers on 123 Main Street. I just want to make sure that blank, 137,000 or 537,000 is your highest and best offer. You're gonna get 3 responses. Yes, where do I need to be? And the third one, I will go up to blank. That's the one I'm looking for. Or sometimes they'll call you, or where do I need to be? I don't tell them where they need to be. I want their highest and best offer. I don't want to plant a seed in their mind because I might go too low and they would go even higher. So yes, where do I need to be? I'll go up to this. And I like to do this via text because I don't want to do it on the phone because it's too much pressure for me. So keep it simple on yourself. Get these developers bidding on your land. It might be the only one you're selling, and I hope this video is super helpful for you. All right, as I mentioned, I teach people how to do this all the time. As you well know, the real estate market is booming. I've got a tried and true method that shows people how to buy land at massive discounts and sell this stuff in their sleep. If you're interested in checking this out or building a business that serves you, your family, and eventually others, head on down to the description below, thelandsharks.com. You can schedule a call with me and my team. We'll see what your goals are, and if I can help you, I'd be honored to coach you.